Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Friday, August 29th, 2025. The kidnapper has another insane demand for their hostage, and Ted surprises Leslie with a proposal. Chelsea has been asked to do many unusual things throughout her life, and there is no end in sight yet. In Friday's episode, the kidnapper has another insane demand for their hostage. Things are getting desperate, but Chelsea needs to hang on, as all of her family and friends are pulling out all the stops to get her back safely. Including making deals with the infamous Joey Armstrong, this one is going to cost the family, at some point, with an unknown price yet to be determined. You can never count Leslie out. She always pops up when you least expect her, and even when you do. Leslie showed up at the Duprees with a cactus as a gift for Anita, more reminiscent of Leslie's prickly personality than anything else. Shortly thereafter, Bill got the signal from Vernon and bodily carried Leslie out the front door that Vernon opened for her. Leslie is clearly not about to stop there. She has other plans that night, but it's Leslie that is about to be surprised this time. In Friday's episode, Ted surprises Leslie with an intriguing proposal while Tomas offers to help Eva. Nicole and her new relationship status are known to all except Martin, who is currently dealing with his own relationship woes. In Friday's episode, Nicole has an upsetting update for her son, as Taylor Swift sang, "We are never, ever getting back together." Well, let's not say never, but at this point, there is a greater chance of Bill and Danny getting back together. Nicole has kept herself busy by offering counsel to all during this time of crisis, even surprisingly to Haley, who turned up at the Dupree mansion under the guise of supporting her husband Bill during this rough time. But really, she wore her insecurities on her sleeve. Haley, after Nicole checked in on her, was overwhelmed and leapt forward and hugged Nicole. Stay tuned, soap fans. This is far from over, and the whole family waits with bated breath. White leads are explored in the search for Chelsea Hamilton. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. As the episode began, Naomi interrupted Danny's pity party to announce that they might have just gotten the break that they needed to find Chelsea. At the same time, Jacob was telling Kat the very same thing, and not a moment too soon either. Having gone even further off the deep end, Allison was starting the day by informing the object of her obsession that they'd soon be bound together forever. All Chelsea had to do was marry her. To prove she was serious about her insane proposal, Allison had even donned a wedding dress. When Chelsea pointed out that Allison was already married, the psycho disclosed that her husband had just been an escort. She also suggested that if Madison was an obstacle to their happiness, she could make her rival disappear. This is all just happening so fast, Chelsea said. Allison was willing to give her time, but not much. They'd be tying the knot that very day. As luck would have it, Allison could marry Chelsea herself. She'd gotten ordained online. What about witnesses? God will be our witness, said the nut. That's all that matters. When Chelsea didn't exactly jump for joy, Allison forced a yes out of her with a slasher movie knife. Though Jacob objected to Kat tagging along as he searched the address to which Allison was having her online purchases delivered, he finally caved. If Chelsea was traumatized, Kat could give her the support that she'd need. Cut to Kat making Jacob regret letting her serve as backup when she revealed that, she'd pocketed Allison's storage unit key and thereby tampered with the chain of evidence. While Jacob along with Wee were questioning his choice of Kat as a sidekick, and Madison was tearfully sharing her dream of marrying Chelsea with Shanice, Allison was beginning the wedding ceremony from hell. "I will be by your side every minute of every day," she threatened. Vowed. At the country club, Ted and Andre's talk was interrupted by Leslie and Eva's arrival to meet with Vanessa. Our wiggy villainess was busy dreaming up renovations to irritate the Duprees when her realtor explained that she might not be able to move in for 3 months. The sellers wanted time to find themselves a new home. When Vanessa and Eva floated the idea that Leslie consider moving to another community, she grinned that Fairmont Crest had something no other place did. Eyeing Ted, she said, "Him." And across the room, Andre took back his advice that his uncle should pursue Nicole at any costs and shared that he was hoping to again become friends with benefits with Danny. In other developments, Nicole was chagrined to learn that Ted was trying to delay their divorce with an audit, launched by his lawyer, Bill. Wriggling in the hot seat, the attorney explained that Ted was only taking this drastic action because he hoped that in time he could win back Nicole. At the hospital, Ashley promised Madison that she'd ensure that Derek didn't overdo his efforts to recover in record time. But even she acknowledged that the stubborn patient only really listened to Shanice. Alone with Ashley, Derek confessed that he was terrified of losing his purpose in life. After Vanessa stopped by the Duprees to inform them that she'd put off Leslie's move-in for a few months, Danny tasked Bill with finding a way to keep her out of Fairmont Crest for good. His solution? Threaten her. Eva had a different idea, to see if Ted could sway Leslie and thereby score himself a few points with Nicole. When Andre came knocking at Dupree Manor, he assured Danny that he wouldn't let her go through the Chelsea ordeal alone. Mind you, she was more in the mood for ranting about Miss Nutjob than receiving any more support than an embrace while she sobbed. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, August 29th, reveal that Leslie gets an intriguing offer from Ted. Leslie Thomas is the happiest she's ever been. She's swimming in riches, making waves in Fairmont Crest, and staking her claim to the town in a big way. And she's loving every minute of it, especially when it comes to ruffling feathers and flashing her newfound fortune in the faces of those she really wants to. One of those people? Ted. But he's about to throw her a curveball with an intriguing proposal. What could that be? Meanwhile, Tomas offers to help Eva. Now, Eva isn't exactly used to leaning on anyone. The only person she's trusted for years was her mama. But Tomas has become part of her world lately. He listens when she needs to talk. She does the same for him. There's a bond there, and his offer to help feels different, maybe even meaningful. Beyond the Gates spoilers for August 29th also reveal that the kidnapper has yet another insane demand for their hostage. Allison is truly unhinged, and we didn't see it coming. At first, she seemed like just another sweet girl, but the more we got to know her, the more her obsession with Chelsea sent major red flags. What does she want now? And finally, Nicole has an upsetting update for her son. With everything going on in their family, the last thing Martin needs is more bad news. But is that exactly what Nicole delivers? Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, August 28th hint that an unexpected wedding will take place, while Vanessa McBride drops a bombshell on the Dupree family. Maybe her big news is about a quickie wedding to Joey Armstrong. BTG spoilers do suggest that the wedding that takes place will be completely unexpected, and there weren't really any hints of two people saying their I do's during the Wednesday, August 27th episode, so it could be anyone at this point. Here's hoping it's not an eerie ploy that Allison pulls on Chelsea Hamilton, who is currently the crazy woman's hostage. Allison has done some uber-creepy things to Chelsea this week, who's chained to a bed in a cabin unknown, so a weird wedding could be in the cards. The only silver lining is that Jacob Hawthorne will follow up on a lead during Thursday's episode, and thanks to the deal Martin Richardson secured with Joey during the August 27th episode, it looks like Jacob may zero in on Chelsea's whereabouts sooner rather than later. Back to Vanessa, she'll update the Dupree family on something important. So does this have to do with Leslie Thomas moving in across the road, or something else? Finally, Derek Baldwin opens up to Ashley Morgan. Derek still loves Ashley, and Ashley still cares for Derek. So are these two heading toward a romantic reunion? Ashley feels awful about his accident, so there's a good chance she may get back together with him out of a pure guilt. In fact, she may do far more than just reunite. She may get suckered into marrying him. Beyond the Gates spoilers remind fans that Derek has been wanting to marry Ashley for a hot minute, so could these two be the unexpected couple that gets hitched? Anything is possible in the land of Fairmont Crest. Beyond the Gates, Eva and Leslie have come a long way since daytime's hottest soap made its debut in February. Not only does the former now have a relationship with her father, but the latter has been revealed to be the daughter of the late articulate Barbara, and thanks to Anita, her worst enemy is filthy rich to boot. Though Eva is only too happy to relocate to Easy Street, her natural tendency now and always will be to keep her pot-stirring mother in check. Eva started out being just as conniving as Mommy Dearest. But since learning that Ted was unaware of her existence and getting to know the Duprees, she's softened and even begun trying to act as the angel on Leslie's shoulder. Nonetheless, Amber Michelle, who plays Eva, tells Soaps.com that there's always going to be some part of her mom about her, even if she is different and she knows that her mom's ways are not always the best. There's some rubbing off on Eva, inevitably. If Michelle had her druthers, Eva might actually rip a few more pages from her mother's Delulu playbook. I actually want Eva to be a little bit spicier, she admits. But that could just be me wanting to play spicier. Eva is really just a good person at heart. Maybe she'll use her powers for good. We'll pray for her. Here's what went down Wednesday, August 27th, 2025, on Beyond the Gates. When Bill learned about his daughter's dating habits, Nicole offered an olive branch to Haley, and Kat unknowingly put some spiked wheels in motion. On Beyond the Gates, Kat found her way to Joey in the Lakeview Casino's back room. When Kat brought up Joey owning the Heart Attach escort service, Joey denied it, but Kat pressed that she needed Joey's help to find her cousin. Kat explained how the cops were getting nowhere and that she had Allison's customer account number. Joey demanded to know how Kat had come across it. She gave a vague answer that he let slide. The casino owner continued to distance himself from Heart Attach, though he did make a general statement about a company's customers deserving confidentiality. Joey shrugged off the implication that Kat would get a warrant, asking, "And this matters to me why?" when Kat pleadingly reiterated that it was her cousin who was missing. Kat offered Joey money, which he wouldn't take. She produced the list of dates on which Allison had hired from Heart Attach and nearly begged Joey to help. Joey wanted to know if Kat meant what she said about being willing to do anything to help Chelsea. Kat nodded emphatically, so Joey requested a meeting with Martin. In an hour, or Kat would be on her own. Bill brought Martin up to speed with the efforts being made to locate Chelsea, glad that Martin was offering his aid as well. Martin displayed confidence in Bill after the lengths he had gone to keep Samantha and Tyrell safe. Vernon still wasn't pleased with Bill's methods, but affirmed that, together, they would bring Chelsea home. Danny started to lose her composure with Chelsea missing and felt she should be out looking for her daughter. Nicole reminded her sister that the police were on top of things and that Chelsea had only been gone a few hours, but Danny agonized over Chelsea being in the hands of the obsessed Allison. Danny began to calm as Nicole assured her that Chelsea would either work her way out of her captivity or hang on long enough for the family to find her. Haley broke in on Danny and Nicole's conversation, commenting that Chelsea was a fighter. Danny took her leave, but Nicole stuck around and asked Haley how she was holding up. Haley was concerned that the heightened stress would have a negative effect on Bill, who was still on his way back from his stroke. Nicole remarked that Bill flourished in crisis mode and observed that Haley hadn't responded about herself. Haley thought that Nicole had only been trying to be polite, but Nicole advised Haley to take care of herself as well, especially after her miscarriage. Naomi walked in on Haley hugging Nicole, then moved on to Smitty, who had tasked his investigative team to dig up intel on Allison. The Richardson Smiths and Naomi talked about Naomi's one encounter with Allison. Because Allison had had a wedding ring on, Naomi hadn't deduced that Chelsea and Allison were dating. Bill heard this and expressed surprise that Chelsea had been in a throuple, not pleased that Martin had known about it, but hadn't said anything. But Bill's real surprise came when Naomi blurted out that Chelsea had a girlfriend. Madison ventured downstairs, and Bill put two and two together. Later, Madison went to Bill and Danny, apologizing for not having taken action when she realized that something was off with Allison. Danny was adamant that Madison hadn't done anything wrong. "You love our girl and she is crazy about you," Danny said as Bill listened. "And her father was the last to know," Bill lamented. After Bill uttered that he just wanted Chelsea to be happy, Madison reported that Chelsea had been planning to tell him about her sexual identity that evening, had she not gone missing. Back at the condo, Smitty relayed that he had said all the parental things necessary to the distressed Tyrell and Samantha. Martin wished someone would reassure them. The estranged marrieds discussed Bill learning that Chelsea was LGBTQ+, and his shock at the revelation. "Everything done in darkness will eventually come to light," Smitty pointed out. Martin fretted that violence was the great equalizer and was dismayed that black girls went missing all the time without much notice being paid to it. The congressman wanted to enact a bill that made resources available in such situations. Smitty and Martin chuckled that Chelsea was indeed her mother's daughter. Smitty felt that, in times of desperation, the Duprees cornered the market in either bravery or insanity, doing whatever was necessary in the moment. Martin thanked Smitty for loving him despite that tendency. They appeared to be about to kiss when a knock on the door interrupted. It was Kat, who said Martin could save the whole family if he talked to Joey. Martin was hesitant, confusing Kat, who began asking if her brother knew the casino owner. After Martin would only say that the Lakeview was in his district, Smitty warned Kat that Joey was dangerous. Kat was relieved when Martin assented to the meeting. Once she left, Smitty grumbled that Joey was trying to reel Martin in. Martin knew he had to take the risk for his cousin. On a call with Tracy, Anita thanked both her and Sharon for helping to get the word out about the missing Chelsea, insinuating that she had more to tell the other articulates, but that it would have to wait until Chelsea was home safe. Once Anita hung up, Leslie arrived with a sympathy plant, a cactus. Leslie wailed that they were practically family and that she was devastated at the loss of Chelsea, that's her name. Leslie corrected herself when Anita had to tell her who Chelsea was. Anita called Leslie depraved. Leslie affirmed that she knew the grief of a missing child because Ted and Bill had threatened to take her baby should she deliver it. Bill heard Leslie's voice and barked, "Not tonight." Leslie wanted Chelsea home, but hoped Bill would always remember the terror of his daughter being missing after she had spent years fearing her baby's kidnapping because of him. Admitting that she had wanted retribution, but not in the form of Chelsea vanishing, Leslie looked to the heavens to bring Chelsea back to her trifling, two-faced daddy. Getting permission from Vernon, Bill picked Leslie up and carried her out of the mansion. Anita actually gave Bill a hug and thanks. At the police station, Naomi met with Jacob, who said that he had gotten Elon to convince Joey to turn over any information that could help Chelsea. Naomi hated dancing with the devil, while Jacob remarked that he hadn't told Kat about his plan to use Hawthorne's connection to Armstrong on Chelsea's behalf. Impressed that Jacob was uncharacteristically willing to break the rules in this instance, Naomi stunned herself by saying she hoped Joey would come through. Jacob was livid when Kat arrived at the station, reporting that she had been to see Joey. When Jacob warned that Kat had no idea the things Joey was involved in, Kat only cared that Joey owned Heart Attach and that that fact could lead them to Chelsea. Kat declared that Chelsea would go to such lengths for her and further. Jacob was perplexed to hear that Joey had wanted an audience with Martin. Kat figured Joey just wanted the politician to relax the casino regulations or something in exchange for helping to find Chelsea. When Martin arrived at the casino, Joey snarked that he was used to the congressman sending emissaries when he needed someone, but he hadn't expected Martin's younger sister. Martin amended that Kat had come to Joey on her own and wanted to know why Joey hadn't given his information directly to her. Joey noted that he had never asked the Duprees for anything in exchange for his assistance before, but now he wanted to be able to interface with Martin directly, without intermediaries. Should Martin accept his help, Joey would determine how the debt would be repaid. At the station, Jacob received a text notifying him that he had emailed him all the info that Joey had on Allison. Kat was ecstatic, but Jacob was concerned about the cost. Danny sent a reluctant Madison, who had patience in the morning but didn't want to leave, on her way, then was unsuccessful in stifling sobs. Andre returned to the Dupree mansion, and Danny fell into his arms as Bill and Haley came upon the scene. After Bill sent Haley home, Nicole sensed that Bill had only just discovered that Danny and Andre were an item. The lawyer was amazed how much info he hadn't been privy to. Nicole smirked that everyone had secrets, especially Bill. Nicole didn't think that Bill had a right to expect full disclosure from his family under the circumstances. As Naomi came back to her grandparents' home, Ashley rushed in, wanting to console her bestie over the disappearance of her little sister. Ashley immediately caught sight of Andre holding Danny. Alone with Andre afterwards, Ashley asked into Danny's state of mind and was glad Andre was there for her since he knew the landscape. "You mean because of my parents?" Andre asked. Ashley wasn't suggesting that Chelsea would turn up dead like his mother and father. Andre reckoned that he and the nurse were the kind of people others liked to have around when things went wrong. Ashley fumbled before saying that she was glad she and Andre hadn't tried anything. Danny needed him, and Derek needed her. Bill described to Danny how, before Chelsea disappeared, he had told her how proud he was of her. He was now afraid he had missed his chance with both of his girls because of what he had done to their family. He could see how disappointed Chelsea was in him every time he locked eyes with her, and regretted that he had caused that. Danny countered that both Chelsea and Naomi loved him. Bill held Danny's hand with both of his as he promised he was going to fix things. Allison got rough with Chelsea while trying to initiate lovemaking. Chelsea kicked Allison off of the bed and struck a self-defense pose. Chelsea dared her captor to approach her again, then changed tactics and told Allison there was still time to make the situation right. Allison maintained that her motive was love, adding, "It's about having and holding one possession until death." The kidnapper glowed over a romantic message Chelsea had sent her. Chelsea realized that Allison had inserted her own meanings into her casual text. Allison resolutely said Chelsea was hers and wanted to send screenshots of Chelsea's passionate DMs to her rebound girl Madison. Chelsea made a grab for Allison's phone, but Allison yanked it away. Chelsea admitted she had been into Allison at one point, but now she wanted her one-time hookup to take no for an answer and get on with her life. Allison berated Chelsea for hopping into bed with the first woman that blinked at you, then backtracked and realized Chelsea had needed someone to soothe her after Allison had broken her heart. Chelsea railed that one couldn't be forced to love another. Allison responded that the handcuffs would only stay on until Chelsea got on board with the new order. Allison recognized that she had erred in letting Chelsea go, and swore she wouldn't make the same mistake again. When Allison stepped out with the garbage bag filled with their ruined dinner, Chelsea tried to reach for Allison's phone, but Allison came back in too fast. Allison wanted to be on a blanket with Chelsea under the stars. Chelsea told the story of how the constellation Andromeda was named after an Ethiopian princess who had been chained to a rock. Chelsea told Allison that she was supposed to be out celebrating the launch of her purse line, something that she had worked for that was her own, yet Allison had shattered her dream. Allison was confident they would find different dreams together and pulled Chelsea closer with the chain, reminding her of her powers of persuasion. "I'm your home now." Allison smiled when Chelsea cried that she needed to be with her family. The unstable woman wanted Chelsea to focus on them being together for the rest of their lives. Allison beamed that Chelsea was her soulmate and offered to help Chelsea put on the negligee she had bought for her. Chelsea spat that she would break Allison's neck if she touched her. "If I die, then you die," Allison replied, unruffled, remarking that Chelsea wouldn't be able to get out of her handcuffs alone. Allison was fine with the idea of Chelsea consuming her flesh after she was dead, since it meant they would be a part of each other. Getting an idea, Chelsea said she was hungry. Allison reminded Chelsea that she had thrown over their table full of food, but Chelsea knew that Allison would provide the basics to keep her happy. Allison uncooperatively stated she was going to bed. Chelsea informed her captor that she wouldn't be getting any sleep, since Chelsea intended to be very loud. Allison donned a coat, deciding to take herself out to dinner to celebrate their first night together. When Allison said she might bring Chelsea a doggy bag, Chelsea hoped Allison would choke on it. Allison grinned that if anything happened to her, Chelsea would starve, something Chelsea was used to as a model. "Bitch," Chelsea replied with gritted teeth. Once Allison departed, Chelsea desperately pulled at the chain, but burst into tears when she couldn't make any headway toward freeing herself. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, August 27th, imply Martin Richardson will make a deal with the devil while Leslie Thomas ruffles feathers at the worst time possible. During the Tuesday, August 26th episode, fans learned just how cray-cray Allison is. Not only did she taunt Chelsea Hamilton and try to force her into getting intimate, But Jacob Hawthorne and Catherine Cat Richardson also found out she was lying about being married to Craig. It turns out that Craig is a male escort Allison hired to trap Chelsea into a throuple situation. He pretended to be her husband upon Allison's request. Craig works for Joey Armstrong, and to further thicken the plot on the August 26th show, Martin and Bradley Smitty Smith hopped on the bandwagon of non-police citizens in Fairmont Crest, looking to crack this investigation wide open. Makes sense, as Smitty is an investigative journalist, so he has credentials to help, right? All kidding aside, will this deal with the devil Martin makes on Wednesday's show have to do with Chelsea's rescue? Will Martin approach Joey about this? Meanwhile, BTG spoilers suggest Chelsea's girlfriend, Dr. Madison Montgomery, will issue an apology to someone. Will Madison harbor guilt around Chelsea's kidnapping? She saw the signs that Allison was unhinged and warned her gal pal, but she may feel as if she should have done more. Madison is not to blame, but that doesn't mean she won't feel bad. In other news, Naomi Hawthorne will be thankful for Jacob. Not only is her hubby working overtime to find her sister, but she'll also lean on him for support during this hard time. Finally, Leslie will push some buttons during the August 27th show, and she really needs to read the room at this point before she does so. However, when has Leslie ever shown any class or tact? She may stroll over to the Dupree mansion, hoping to rub her newfound wealth in their faces again, but as they are more preoccupied with finding Chelsea, it looks like they'll brush her aside. Beyond the Gates, spoilers reveal that there's a time and place for everything, but Leslie wanting to gloat about anything during Wednesday's show is neither the time nor the place. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Thursday, August 28th, reveal some bombshells on the horizon in Fairmont Crest. Vanessa McBride has an update, while Jacob Hawthorne follows a lead. Plus, an unexpected couple ties the knot. Learn more about what's set to unravel on the CBS soap below. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Thursday, August 28th, imply that Vanessa will give the Dupree family an update. Is this about Leslie Thomas's mansion purchase across the street? Or could it be about the search for Chelsea Hamilton? Fans will need to tune in to find out. Across town, Jacob will follow a lead, and Catherine Cat Richardson will join him. These two teamed up once again, and this time their mission is to find Chelsea. So, will they get one step closer during the Thursday show? Allison has Chelsea at an unknown cabin, taunting the poor young woman. So here's hoping that if Kat and Jacob are the case, Chelsea can be rescued soon. Elsewhere, beyond the gates, spoilers for Thursday hint that there will be a wedding at Fairmont Crest, and the two getting hit guide will shock fans. Could Leslie somehow convince Ted Richardson to tie the knot? Maybe it's Vanessa and Joey Armstrong. Then again, as part of her Twisted, could Allison organize a pretend wedding to Chelsea? In other news, Derek Baldwin will open up to Ashley Morgan. Could these two be the ones that end up getting married? Derek has been wanting to marry Ashley for a long while, and even though they aren't together, the two only just broke up. As Derek is also reeling after a terrible accident where he's lost feeling in his legs, will Ashley take pity on her ex and agree to say, "I do," without thinking it through? Beyond the Gates, spoilers say that viewers probably haven't seen the last of Samantha and Tyrell Richardson's birth mom, June. Naomi unleashed a can of worms when she reunited the homeless woman with her kids. In fact, she could return to the soap down the road and create more chaos for Smitty and Martin's kids. Here's what's coming up next on the CBS soap. New BTG spoilers down below. When Beyond the Gates first introduced June on the daytime TV show, we knew she was related to somebody in Fairmont Crest. For a while, rumors even hinted she might be the missing articulette. But that mystery has been solved. Thanks to Naomi and Jacob, we learned that June was actually Regina's sister and the birth mom of Samantha and Tyrell Richardson. This week on Beyond the Gates, June had an emotional talk with the kids she gave up for adoption, and everyone seems to have a little closure. She decided to check into rehab and work on herself until the kids are ready to see her again and need her in their life. Despite saying their goodbyes, Beyond the Gates spoilers say we haven't seen the last of June. At the end of the day, Tyrell and Samantha's birth mom has some serious issues and is battling her own demons. There's a chance that June hits a rough patch and turns back to the streets. Or even worse, she may become unhinged and refuse to stay away from Smitty and Martin's kids. Tyrell and Samantha have lived comfortably since they were adopted, and their fathers have sheltered them from the outside world. It won't be difficult for June to talk her way into their lives or even con them into giving her money. Also on Thursday's BTG, Vanessa shares news with the Duprees. Derek opens up to Ashley. An unexpected couple exchanges vows. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for August 28, 2025, will focus on Jacob and Kat, who come across a promising lead. Kat and Jacob teamed up to find Chelsea's whereabouts. On Thursday's episode, they will get closer to solving this case. This new lead will give them the information that they need. But of course, anything can switch, as this is a soap opera. The duo might find themselves in another obstacle. Hopefully, they will work together to rescue Chelsea's life before it's too late. Derek will open up to Ashley. Supposedly, this moment will bring them closer together. Ashley might have been interested in Andre, but she still wanted their relationship to work. Meanwhile, Vanessa shared news with the Duprees. She will gather the family together for some must-hear information. Does she have information about Chelsea's whereabouts? Or does she find out something about her client, Leslie, who isn't completely out of the woods yet? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!